All right. Hi, everybody. We're back. Bob's got us already off on, and we're doing talking to Russ King of Kwik Model 3D. How you doing, Russ?
Good.
Pleasure to meet you.
Mitch.
Well, I don't mean meet you. Pleasure to see you again. Jesus.
For years.
Known
man.
you for a
Come on.
while. Okay. So I don't know if you guys know, and Russ can explain that to you, but next year you're going to have to do, and it's always been a requirement, but you're going to have to do a title on your Title 24s. You're going to have to do a load calculation when you do your Title 24s.
Yep. Manual JS&D is the only thing I know of that's actually required in 3 different codes. It's in the mechanical code, it's in the energy code, and it's in the green code. And it's been there for a long, long time. The problem is that building departments just aren't asking for it. And so the energy code has gotten more precise in how it's written. And now they're saying, for this kind of project, you need to do this. For this kind of project, you need to do this. So it's going to be very precise. And they're training building departments to start asking for it, and what to ask for, and how to check it. So it's going to be a big deal next year.
So, and so if you're not doing load calculations, you're going to have to do load
You
calculations.
should be anyways.
Yes.
Yes.
And so the one Russ's got that's Manual J based software, so it's approved by IHACI, right, or
Yep.
Manual J,
ACC, yeah.
ACC, and so kind of explain they're different. Why do I want to use Kwik Model 3D?
Sure. There's a lot of choices out there. If you go to the Manual J, or sorry, the ACCA website, or you just search for ACCA approved software, there's like 12 or 15 of them. Only 3 of them do Manual J, S, and D, and we're one of those. So that narrows us down quite a bit. We're the only one that does it in 3D. That's 3D based, and we're much newer. We're a California-based company. It's just my son and I. We're a small company. We've been around for a while. We have excellent customer service, tech support.
If we call somebody, we're talking to you or your son Connor. Right?
How many companies can you call for tech support? Either talk to
Get the owner of the company
or the vice president.
Vice president of the company.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But no, I use RightSoft for 25 years. I've taught on Elite. Those are the other 2 that do Manual JS&D, and those are why I wrote this software, basically.
Yeah, because you did the software, and so you just figured, and it's based on you. It's not like your typical, because it's 3D. It's based on what you want to.
It's actually written in a video game platform. My son graduated from college with a computer science degree, and he wanted to design video games. And I had an idea, and I basically hijacked his career and said, let's do something else. Let's do something a little more productive and societal benefits. And so we came up with this, and I think it's pretty cool. I've learned a lot about software myself. I mean, I know what I want it to do, and he makes it happen.
Yeah. So this isn't Call of Duty for HVAC, is what we're saying.
It is, yeah. It's Minecraft for HVAC. Yeah,
Minecraft for HVAC.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
So you also you can use LiDAR on your program. Now, it's got to be imported in, or is it part of the software?
It's actually an off-the-shelf LiDAR app called Polycam. It creates a file that can be imported directly. There's a button on our software that says import Polycam file. It imports it in, and it's all in 3D.
It's all 3D. Yeah, and so I don't know if any of you guys understand, but with LiDAR, we can take an iPad, which has LiDAR built into it, the iPad Pro or whatever it is.
The newer ones, yeah.
The newer ones. You can walk around with just the camera taking moving pictures as he does it, and it builds the model of the house very accurately.
It's fun to play with.
Sizes windows, sizes doors, ceilings, and all of the stuff. Then you can import it right into the software, and I'll let you finish how that works.
And so what that does is it does all the room by room takeoffs of the house. So it's looking at the wall area, the floor area, the ceiling area of each individual room. That gets plugged into the load calculation engine, and it does room by room heating and cooling loads based on that 3D model. And it's amazing, and it's fun to play with. We can also import a 2D plan. Like if you're doing a new construction house, which you can't scan, we can import a 2D floor plan and then you build the house out of these scalable boxes. That's why I say it's like Minecraft.
So you can just draw the boxes up like
You just plop them down, and it's a box, and you shape it to the room.
to the room right on the plan.
Right on the plan, right on top of the.
So you did bring your laptop. Do you want to demonstrate some of it for the
absolutely.
guys?
This is a house I did just this week. Actually, I was working on this house. Lives close to me, but you can see each. It has the ducts on it. It's got the ducts are colored. Blue is supply and red is return. And let me go into HVAC draw. You can kind of see how you can move the ducts around. You can do whatever direction you want. There's you place the supply registers. You can click on a supply register. If you don't like where it is, you can move it and the duct will move with it. And it sizes the ducts for you. So if this one was already been done, so I click on dimensions here and I can make that a little bigger so you can see it. Oh,
Too big.
that one. Okay, so it has all the duct sizes there for you.
Does it automatically calculate the lengths of the ducts and stuff too? So does it do a takeoff?
When you draw it, it'll calculate the length of for you. Yeah, it'll actually do a parts list for you.
Yeah, parts list did takeoff.
Because you see TYs in here, you can see collars and start collars and register boots and everything, and it'll create a whole list.
So do you base the takeoff? You put into the catalog for the fittings. You put in what you'd like to use, and then it'll do it.
Yeah,
Based on that.
Yeah, when you draw it, you can place a TY. There's elbows. There's all kinds of fittings, and you draw the duct system how you want to, and then from how you draw it, it creates a list. But it's also calculating the equivalent lengths for all of those.
Right. So so the cool part is you can take this to the customer and you can show them the 3D drawing and stuff.
Yeah, we actually have a really cool new feature that you can email the customer a link, and they can open that link, and it opens it in 3D as though they have the software on their computer.
So they can move it.
They can look at it. They can look at all the
Rotate
inputs.
it.
They just can't make any changes.
That's cool. That is cool. That's an awesome product. So talk to me about on the can you do what ifs? So how easy is it to do a what if? Let's say I got a customer, he's got R19 in his attic. This is a big what if I do all the time. And so if we change that to R60, let's say, how hard is it to do that in the software? How easy is that?
It's very simple.
Is it global?
There's a data tab that opens all the tables. So there's a wall table, a floor table, and even if you have like 3 or 4 different kinds of walls in the table, there's another place called a library. So each wall is defined as a type. You can go into the libraries and make whatever changes to that type. Whatever change you make will make it in the data table as well. Or when you go in the data table, there's also a drop down, and you can drop down, and there's like 8 or 9 walls to choose from. So there's several different ways to do it. And then you just rerun the loads and then just compare, before and after.
Compare the two. Yeah.
I do that all the time. I call it parametric runs. We just change.
You call it what? I'm sorry.
Parametric runs.
Parametric runs.
You change one parameter at a time to see how big of a change.
I just call them what ifs.
What ifs? Yeah, that works too. Yeah.
I love to add up what ifs too. Like when I'm doing a customer and I go, okay, let's see. Well, your infiltration was 5,000 cubic feet per minute at 50, and your house is only 2,000 square feet. Yeah. That's a lot. We got a lot of air changes per hour. But what if we reduce that in half? What if we did R19, went R19 to R60? What if we did sunscreens on the house?
Yep, absolutely.
And then it's amazing how we can drop the tonnage down from like a 3.5 ton down to a 3 ton or less. And then the customer, they're really shy because the other guy was coming in and said, oh, you got a 2,000 square foot house, you need a 4-ton unit. You got to put 4 tons in. And you're like, nah, you 3 tons would do it. In fact, 2.5 tons would probably do you fine. But just for fun, we're going to do a 3 ton so you're be comfortable with that. And they're like, well, no, everybody else said 4 ton. I have to have 4 ton.
Yeah.
And that's one reason we do the load counts.
Absolutely.
So
I teach a lot of classes, and one of the things I say is don't design a system for a crappy house, right? Don't size the equipment because the house is leaky, right? That's like putting a bigger engine on your car because it has flat tires.
Right.
No, you
fix the tires
first, right? You fix the house first. Make the house reasonable. And so if you're not sure what features are in a house, I tell people assume the features are what they should be and what they could be, right? Don't assume that they're bad. That's That's enabling poor construction, in my opinion. Right?
Yeah, it does. I agree with you 100%.
So yeah.
So, what would be, talk about the cost of using your software, because you do classes. First of all, let's do the classes. What the classes that you're teaching? You teach them at.
There's a variety of classes. I teach at a community college, but I teach a lot of classes for Edison and PG&E.
Right.
It's a 3-day class based on our software, and it's free.
And it's webinar typically.
It's webinar based.
Right.
Yeah.
It's webinar based.
Yeah.
And then you do give a free 3-month trial or month trial.
There's
for
a 1 month free 30-day free trial
of the software.
Of our software. Yep, absolutely. And we'll get them all set up. One of the hardest things is installing it on your computer, because it is a Windows base and you install it on your computer. Everybody's virus protection is different. It seems like we run into a different problem every time. But Connor's really good about getting them all set up, getting them running, and we're super proud of our tech support.
Well, I think out there, of the software, I'm old school RightSoft guy. 2D, so got to put it in, got to measure their house, do all the other stuff by hand.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it since 2000, so
yeah.
I'm pretty familiar with the software. I'm one of those kind of guys it's hard to get me to switch stuff, even though I'm an early adopter for most stuff.
Yep.
But I bought the software back then.
I totally get it. I have so many friends. I've shown them my software, and they're like, Russ, I've invested so much time learning RightSoft, it would be silly of me to change. Right?
It's not just that as much as I own RightSoft. It's I don't know the company, but the RightSoft back then they sold the software. It's not a subscription based.
Yeah.
So I'm like a legacy. If I just do the updates, is all I have to pay for updates.
And I have it on a 3.5-inch disc floppy.
Oh, you have a 3.5.
I should make a medallion and put it like on a gold.
Tell you how old I was. I used to do micropass on real floppy disks.
The 6-inch floppies.
Floppy disk. Yes, real floppy disks is how I came out, and it was DOS based.
Yep.
It was all DOS based.
I remember that.
I had all quick keys. I used to do them at home. When I did Title 24s, because my dad didn't want to do it. A lot of builders wanted it, so I started doing it on my own.
Yep.
Back then, too, a 1086 computer back then with a 20 megabyte hard drive was huge.
Yes.
And I would push the calculation for the calculate button, and it would take
you could
20
go to
minutes
lunch.
to a half
go to
hour,
lunch and come back.
40 minutes, come back, still doing the calculation. It'd finish it, and if you made a mistake, it would tell you had an error.
Yeah.
You'd have to go back, fix that, and then do it again.
Well, remember, if at the end of the run, if it didn't pass, it would go boop, boop, boop.
Yeah.
And if it passed, it would go boop, boop, boop. So you'd hear that sound, you're like,
yes.
And you go, yay.
Oh, we're old. We're showing our age. But what ended up happening is years later, we got an updated version of MicroPass. We started doing the Title 24s again for some builders, because they were the Title 24 guys were screwing them, because they were specking stuff in the houses that weren't paying off for the builders. They were doing they wouldn't do low E windows, and I was just like, why aren't you doing low E windows? Why are you doing this and that? Well, they could sell duct testing. Did low E windows, but actually back then, you get the credit, didn't have to do it.
Right.
So ended up when we started doing it again, with our new computers, and it was 3.5 or it was a CD-ROM. I can't remember, but you hit the button. By the time your finger was done pushing the button, the calculation was done. Which is just crazy. Crazy after doing this original MicroPass. So talk a little bit more about the software. Tell us, some of the reasons why a contractor or a new guy starting out, this would be something that they want to pick up. And then we talk about the cost per month.
Sure. Excuse me. The way I see it is load calcs are something they should be doing. It's honestly, to me, it's not professional to install equipment in a house without really knowing what the house needs. A lot of people say, well, it had a 410 before. So they're trusting the person that originally designed that, and you're assuming that the house has not changed in 20 years. And that's a bad assumption. I would say easily 90% of the homes in California, the equipment is way oversized, that it could certainly benefit from downsizing. What a lot of people don't realize is oversized equipment will cause more comfort complaints than undersized equipment. But everybody's afraid to undersize.
Yeah.
And you get short cycling, you get higher energy bills, your equipment's going to fail sooner. There's just so many reasons not to oversize. We really should be looking for excuses to downsize equipment. And I've never, ever had anyone complain that their equipment was too small.
Yeah, me neither. I haven't either. I've had nobody. In fact, I've had several customers because we used to do a lot of new construction, and I used to have to because we'd size it correctly in the new construction. So I had several homes that were like 2,200 square feet that had a 3-ton air conditioner, and one lady swore it wouldn't cool her house. Went and checked it, couldn't find anything wrong. Told her there's no problem with the equipment. You're just gonna turn it on soon enough. You're waiting until it gets 80 in the house and it's 100
Yeah.
outside. So it had to roll around to the next year because they were done with the hot weather. Come back, it was going to be 107 it was in May. And so we went there first thing in the morning, and I told my guy, I said, when you jump it so she can't turn it off at the unit. And so he did. When it was 72 degrees outside, it was 82 in her house. And so he jumped it. We came back at about 6:30 that night, and it was 107 outside, and her house was 72 degrees. And she was like, I am not paying that bill. And I told her, I said, builder called me and says, you got to pay her bill. I said, not paying her bill. I had to prove her unit works. She's just not running it. So you do have to run it differently when it's sized correctly.
Like a refrigerator. Run it like a refrigerator. Just set it and forget it.
Set it, forget it. You don't have to go in there and mess with it every time. Yeah. And it's actually going to be more efficient that way too, because it's going to maintain the temperatures of the house.
And then another big thing is, heat pumps are a big thing now. Heat pumps are really susceptible to bad design. And then your heat pump has a fixed amount of heating and a fixed amount of cooling, and they're really encouraging people to size the heat pump to handle the heating load.
Who's doing that?
The Energy Commission.
Is now doing that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I always thought that we were supposed to size by the cooling load
and then put strips on it.
And then put strips on it, but you don't need strips in California.
It's rare, yeah. Excuse me. Got a frog in my throat. But now they're trying to really discourage heat pumps, and there's parts of the state where if you size it for heating, it's going to be way oversized for cooling. And I've been teaching people not to oversize air conditioners for all these years, and now they kind of have to, right? Well, the solution to that is a good duct design. Good airflow, good duct design will make all those oversizing problems go away. It's when you have oversized equipment with undersized ducts. That's a guaranteed problem. Absolutely.
So you like this last one we did. We've got a guy over in Manteca. He's got a 5-ton unit, 2,300 square foot house. I think the company changed it out a few years, 2006, put in a 5-ton. It probably had a 4-ton before. We did his load calcs. He only needs 3 tons of cooling. So,
he probably has 3-ton ducts.
He has a 16-inch return. It's not even a 3-ton; it's a 2-ton. So 2 tons of ductwork. So we're fixing the ductwork problem, and he's going to insulate to R60. We told him, just insulate to R60. 3-ton will work fine, because he was so worried it was going to be. I said, no, you're going to have the most comfortable house when you're done, and he's got solar, so he's not concerned about the bill, because he doesn't have a bill right now anyhow, practically. So it's not that big a deal.
There's a whole group of people out there that swear up and down that Manual J way oversizes everything.
It is oversizing. There's a fudge factor.
It has some safety margin, but not safety margin. It has some worst case scenarios built in. For example, in the wintertime, it assumes that there's no people in the house and there's no appliances around. So
right, and that's
no
not true.
Gains. Yeah. That's not always true. It's a worst case assumption, right? They had to decide which way they want to do it, and they picked the worst case. But even then, there's people that say, well, I sized it based on Manual J, and even when the outdoor temperature is way colder than the design temperature, my system is still cycling on and off. So Manual J must be wrong.
Yeah.
And I want to see their load couch, but so hopefully that just gives people some comfort that they don't have to pad their Manual Js. I hate when people do that. I don't like when people mess with their outdoor design temperatures. I don't like when they throw a bunch of extra.
Or they go worst case scenario for the cooling load, so they can justify that 4-ton air conditioner, that 1,500 square foot house.
They just don't need to do that. It's unnecessary. Yeah.
So you also do, you as Russ King, not as Kwik Model 3D. You do a lot of checking a lot of the people that do work through tech or through QB2 program, QB1. You're the one who's checking their load calcs when they come through.
Yeah, they send me a random sample of those.
So do you because it's of all the ones that are doing that, the software wise, which one do you see the most problems? Don't say BrightSoft, because no, I'm just teasing.
No, it's the other ones. It's the online ones, the $5 per shot ones.
Yes.
I don't know if I can say any names.
Don't say any names. That's okay. We'll protect the innocent
Yeah,
or the guilty.
those programs really mislead the contractor into thinking that they can be really, really simple on the inputs. I mean, there's one where you literally type in the address
And it
gives you a load count.
That's not.
It doesn't know the window areas. It doesn't know the R values. It doesn't know anything about that house. And that's, to me, that's kind of the crime. It's ACA certified. The calculations that's going on in the background is very accurate. It's just garbage in,
and
garbage
you just
out.
and you're not, but they're not putting the input. They don't know what the insulation of the walls. They don't know what the windows are made of. They don't know the dimensions of the windows. That's based on an average fenestration.
I looked at one the other day, and it had 1.5 tons of appliances inside of it, and I go, 1.5 tons of like toasters and fish tanks.
They're all running at the same time. That's the thing. It's I'm going to be.
Yeah, and the reason is this software opens up, and there's a list of like 150 appliances that might be in a house, and there's no instructions.
So they're just clicking.
Yeah, they're going.
Clicking,
Oh yeah, they might have one
click.
of these. They might have one of these. They might have one of these. They might have 5 or 6 plants in the house. They don't need to put all that stuff in. That's only like if you know there's more than a normal amount, then you can add it if you want.
Yeah.
But they don't tell them.
So the online ones aren't as great, but Kwik Model 3D would be perfect for guys starting out. It's easy to learn.
It is. It's written in a video game platform, so the younger generation, it's all about that 3D and spinning stuff. And some people like you and I might make them a little dizzy, but
yeah, we don't. I don't need that. So let's talk about the subscription price that you guys are on a subscription basis.
It's a 1-year subscription. It's currently $299 for a 1-year subscription. It's unlimited use. It's one computer, but on January 1st, it's going up to $499.
So if you get in it now, you're gonna save quite a bit of money. $100.
$200. Yeah.
$200. I'm sorry.
It's we have a big new release coming out that's got a lot of really, really cool features, so that's why we're raising the price. But if you get in now, you'll get the upgrade.
You'll get the upgrade for free, and you'll get it all the way back to the 1 year date. It comes back around.
Yep.
And then they're going to offer all kinds of discounts later.
Yes, we will.
No, when my year subscription's up.
Gotcha.
So,
yep.
So did you have anything else you want to show on the software or anything?
No, just that. If you start from scratch, let me just show you really quick how you place a room. That's one of the cool things. You just alt click and it just places a box like this, and that happens to be on the 2nd floor. But you can see the box is scalable, and we have a lot of different shapes that you can use. But you just build a house out of these boxes, and by placing one box, I've just drawn 4 walls, a ceiling, and a floor with one click. Okay. And
do you have to specify ahead of time what that is, that room or that you're dropping?
Yeah, there's a bunch of choices up here. There's a rectangle room, a triangle room, a vaulted ceiling. There's all different kinds of shapes, and so it'll place it. And then you can say like these rooms here that are a different color. Those are unconditioned. So I've said that those are unconditioned.
Okay, so you've told the software
yes.
This is not a room that I don't want to calc this space. Okay.
Exactly.
And then when you do. When you're doing that, how do you do the walls? How do you tell it what's in the wall, what's in the ceiling? You do that automatically when you start the project, or
there's a library where it lists all the different types you can choose from, and that's totally customizable. You can add to that, delete from that. But once you build the house, there's a data table that lists all the walls, and each wall accesses the library. So there's a drop down, and you can pick it that way. You can set the defaults at the beginning.
Right, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
So
you set the
defaults
defaults at the beginning.
And then do you have can you do templates? So you have a template for like a common house, stucco house, comp roof, R19 in the attic, slab floor, and then
exactly
R13 in the
A lot of
walls.
people will do templates. We have users all over the country, and we have a lot of people that do basement houses. And there's a lot of extra stuff you have to put in
for the basement. Yeah.
So they'll have a house that's got one basement box and one box above that, and they'll just open that up, and it's got all the settings.
It's all ready to go.
They just start adding
drawing it.
Yeah. Oh. I did want to show you a cool feature though. This is something that we need very desperately in real life here. Let's see, flex duct. So here's a duct here. Let's say you just get a really you just get a really bad kink in it like that. Okay. All right, you click on it. It's the magic R key. Watch what happens to that duct right there. Boom.
Puts
It makes it nice and straight.
Yeah.
Just hit the R key and it straightens it out for you. So we need a magic R key in real life.
We need that in real life because I've seen ducks that go all over the place.
Yeah, exactly. So,
all right, that I love your software. Just going to take a while to get me convinced to switch.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
I
too
totally
invested in the, like you say, in the right soft.
yeah.
But if I did, because I like the LiDAR feature, I'd use that a lot. And customers kind of, what do you want around the house? Well, some people don't want you running a camera in their house. Like, oh, I just stuff.
Yeah. Some of the new features we're adding, jumper ducts. You can draw jumper ducts from the
Yes.
into the
So
hallway.
you got a jumper duct. It
you
sizes the jumper duct for you and everything.
Yep. We can.
Do you base it on a room pressure, or do you base it on
the airflow going into the room?
Into the room? Okay, so you're basing it on that, but you're not accounting for the undercut on the door or any of the other stuff. So you don't tell them take a pressure and stick that pressure in there, and we'll size it up to it.
No, they just
automatically size
it.
it.
Yeah, and it plays it safe on the size. You may as well make it a little bit bigger. But another cool feature is you can place a condenser wherever you want it. You can draw the line set going to the
so that you can see where it goes,
and it'll tell you the length of the line set and the vertical run too.
That's nice. As long as they put it where they're supposed to.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's pretty cool features. All right.
Yep.
You got anything else you want to add?
I think we're good, man.
All right. Well, thank you for coming down. Thanks for coming to the booth. If you guys are looking for software you're going to need next year, want to get the deal before January, take advantage of it. Get a hold of Russ King. He's here at the show right now. If you want to take one of his classes and you'll get to use it for 30 days to give it a try, gonna need to jump right on that because January's coming around pretty quick.
Yep.
All right. Thanks again, Russ.
Thank you. Appreciate
All right.
it.